Welcome back, everybody. You have already initiated and gotten through the first set for the initial install video already, or you're just already had it installed and you just want to kind of go in depth, understand some of the basic functions of this, or you want to go more in depth on how to get this even operational the way that you want it with the audio routing. So that's what this video is for. This is going to be a bit longer, so we're going to jump right in and go from there. If you're not seeing this screen, what I'm seeing right now, that's okay. I'm going to go over both wavelink devices or wave devices like Wave Mic, Wave 3, the XLR dock for the Elgato Stream Deck Plus and so forth. And I'm going to go over third-party microphones too in this video. We're also going to go primarily over the mixes itself, which is going to be in this section. As you start loading up, at least because it's a beta, sometimes going from the microphone to the mixes is a very long delay, like a lag in a way, but that's probably because of the beta. I'm sure they're going to do some quality of life improvements with the newer updates and stable stuff that are going to be released. Anyways, we'll go ahead and start off with the microphones. The microphone stuff is going to be fairly basic. What I'm going to focus more on is getting the mixes going for all the audio routing, such as sound effects and getting your primary default audio in your computer, both your headphones and your speakers and so forth, and even gaming and music. So we're going to go ahead and jump in the Elgato one first. You may not see this. You're probably already booted up and you're at the tour. So luckily you can go in the settings and start the tour all over again. So we're going to go through the tour first. We already did that in the initial video and get started. Going to go ahead and continue. Right now I am using the microphone actively that is connected to this at the moment. So you might hear some changes and differences as I adjust all of this. Continue. I'm going to go ahead and follow this instructions here. Doesn't matter what microphone this is showing the Wave DX in the photo. I don't have this microphone. I just have the XLR dock with a Rode Pod mic microphone. And it's an XLR. So what I do, follow this, I put my thumb on my chin and I put my pinky on either the pop filter or the microphone itself while it's facing directly at you. And that's anywhere between 4 to 6 inches, depending on how big your hands are. Go ahead and hit continue. This is going to tell you whether or not you're too loud, not under. My voice is going to regulate depending on how fast I'm talking and everything. So for me, it seemed about 50, 51 is actually, I think the previous video I said 55 for me, but it seemed a little too loud when I listened to the video afterwards. So I'm going to show this. So it's going to get loud right now as soon as I increase the gain. As you can hear me, I'm going down, 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 down. You can barely even hear me, probably. It's very low. Now I'm going to go up. It's going to get loud here. All right, all the way up. It's too loud in the red. I'm going to go back down. You adjust your microphone to where when you're talking like testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, over and over again until you reach the point where you're mostly in the green here. I'm going to also go ahead and bring over my OBS real quick. I like to stay between like 10 and 5 on here. So it's about that, 10 and 5. Negative 10, negative 5. You want to be loud enough, but you don't want it so loud where it's distorted. I'm going to bring this back over to the other screen just to kind of show the old school people, you know, the ones who use the OBS for reference for audio. It's fairly similar. Go ahead and hit continue. It's nice that it's in here now though. And remember, y'all, this is for free for everybody, even if you don't have a Wave device. Wavelink 2.0, you had to have a Wave device. You had to have the either XLR like this right here, the Stream Deck Plus with the XLR dock, Wave 3 or Wave DX, all those different microphones that even utilize Wavelink 3.0. This is freaking awesome that they released this. It's going to be so powerful. Sorry, I'm rambling. Let's just go ahead and continue. And done. So far, you're done. So far, you're going to see this. In this part, in the input and monitor settings, I have a dynamic mic, but I also have a preamp. Like the CloudFet or whatever it's called, CloudFet, I forgot what it's called. They also have like the Titan or something. It's to give you clean gain, but I won't go into too details with that. You can look that up. With that, if you're only using a dynamic mic, turn the 48 volt phantom power off. You don't need it. But if you're using a preamp for a dynamic mic, you need this. And if you're using a condenser mic, you need this checked. I'm going to keep my gain lock on. Low impedance mode, I'm not 100% sure what that is. I think it's if you got really good quality headphones. I know I do. I have the Bayer Dynamics, but I'm going to keep that off. That's fine, because this is mostly, you're going to be talking to people in game. You could be making videos, but I know for me, I'm only starting out making videos again, so I normally just use Discord and in-game, and everyone always, they love the microphone. Anyways, we're going to go to Effects. Right here, if you own a wavelength device, the voice focus is free. Right now, it may not show right now, but what you want to do is you're going to see two different ones, personal mix, chat mix. We're going to do personal mix. And as soon as you hit go, it's going to turn on immediately if you have a device. So I'm going to hit go and it's going to turn it on. Well, I guess that time it didn't. Last time it did for me, probably because I turned it off beforehand. Anyways, click voice focus and you can turn this up and down. This is like that noise canceling stuff. So it focuses on your voice. I don't remember. I think it was set at 95%. We can add effects later. We're not going to do that just yet. All right. I want to warn you about the voice focus because so far from with my experience, I believe it takes up a good amount of CPU usage. If you're playing single player games or you're playing things that aren't really as competitive, and you don't want your CPU being taken up. I know a lot of people say, oh, graphics card is more important. Well, CPU plays in a role too. It can bottleneck your frames if your CPU is being taken up too much. This can be CPU hungry, especially with the voice focus. At least that's what it seems like to me with my testings when I play Call of Duty. I was dropping, I play in 4K and then I have an average of like 150 to 180. I have a 3090 as well, by the way. i9-10, 900K. If you have a better CPU, go for it, whatever you want. But for me, in my experience, I would drop from 180 to easily to 120, and it was like bouncing back and forth, and then I'd have frame stutterings, so it was really annoying. So I turned this off for me. Everyone's miles will vary. Everyone's miles will vary. All right. So now that you got this initially set up, I like to turn the low cut filter off. You can keep it on. I don't know exactly what this is. I keep the clip guard on. I think in other tutorials and videos and research that I watched, a lot of people even turn that off. But I'm going to keep that on. Settings, it just tells you your firmware, and you can start the tour all over again. Now, we're going to go ahead and go to mixes. I'm hearing myself right now through this. So I'm going to go ahead and you can mute it if you want. If you're hearing yourself right now, which you probably are, you might be, if this is set for your headphones. I try to set this one for my headphones, for the primary one. We're going to go ahead and add all 5 of the mixes at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and hit plus, plus, plus. All right. There's 5 of them. That's max at the moment. They may or may not add more later. They're open suggestions right now. They think that the average users might only need 5. Maybe there might be a paid version later, or maybe they might just increase it later. We don't know. It's all speculation at this point. I do personally like to hear myself on here, just at a very low volume, so I know if my mic's on and whatnot. But we're going to set up the mixes first. I personally, this is my own personal opinion. You play around it how you want. You can follow along and do step by step exactly how I'm doing if you want, and then change things later. Anyways, I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to do this specifically for my headphones. This is all the audio that goes to my headphones, and this is my headphones. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to add, and you add your headphones here. I'm going to close window. FYI, with the beta, it's weird. I don't know. Sometimes it glitches out, but if for some reason you can't hear anything, if you go here to edit, sometimes this, especially if you have the Stream Deck Plus, this will change to the Stream Deck headphone port audio instead of the headphones that you designed, added it to. I don't use it personally, so I actually went into the Windows settings and disabled it. So I'll show you that real quick if y'all don't use that. Let's see, control, sound. No, I just type in sound, my bad. Sound, and then control panel, and then sound here. Scroll down just so you can see what I'm talking about. Where was it? Maybe y'all saw it before me. I don't know. Trying to find it. I apologize. Trying to be quick as possible. System voice wave 2.4. Oh, yeah, I renamed it to SD for Stream Deck XLR my headphones. I disabled that. I don't want it replacing, and then ever since I disabled it, it has not replaced that for me yet because I want more control over it. It kept doing it on its own. It was really annoying. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and close that. Close this. And we're going to edit this one. I'm going to edit this for my speakers. Add output, and this is my Stage V2. I forget exactly the brand, but it's a pretty decent speakers. I'm going to turn the volume all the way up here. Actually, I don't want to do that. It's going to be way too loud. No, I'll keep it up because you can control each individual volume here. Oh, by the way, I'm going to turn this on and turn this up a little bit, like 20 to 30%, so I can hear my voice a little bit. If you mute anything on this side, it mutes everything on this side. So I can mute that, and the whole thing, it just gets muted. And it all got muted. You probably couldn't hear me. Maybe you did. I don't have it set for the Elgato virtual mix, I think, on the OBS yet. Let me see here. Okay. You can also just mute the specific channel, but we'll get into that a little bit further. The next one I'm going to edit. I'm going to change to voice chat. Well, I'm going to change it a little bit of something so I can try to figure something out a little bit. But anyways, voice chat. I'm going to do an exclamation point just so I can see a differential later. Close. Chord. I'm going to change this to SFX for sound effects. This will be important a little bit later. And then I'm going to change the last one to games with an S. Close. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and add this. If you're familiar with Wavelength 2.0, all right, if you're familiar with that, then a lot of it is different and there are some things that are the same, okay? There are very few things that are the same, but there's also a lot of differences. To me, if you remember on the Wavelength 2.0, it was all the inputs or outputs, I guess inputs were at the top up here. Like you'd have your mic here, you'd have whatever audio device here. Like if you hit create channel, you see I have this extra mic here, another audio device for art tunes, which I use for Call of Duty. I'll get into that another time. It seems like it rotated 90 degrees to the left. To me, that's what it seems like, but maybe it might seem like that to you. The other things, the filters and effects, if you click this button here, it's easy access to that. So you have these. So I've got the compressor, the de-esser, EQ, all that should have already moved over to your VST files. Not moved over, it should still be in the same spot. And when you installed this after uninstalling the Wavelength 2.0, it should already be here. If you don't have that, we're going to go ahead and get that right now. This is also going to work on your standard mics. It's going to work on the voice chat for your game chat for people talking to you, for Discord and so forth as well. We'll get into that. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you where to get that. So go ahead and open up your browser. Search Elgato Marketplace. Another place, you can also go down here and click Marketplace in the software, but I'm doing it in a different browser here just to show you. Elgato Marketplace. In here, you want to search VST, enter, Scroll down, you see the VST here, do show all. If you're on Windows, which that's of course what we're using right now, that's these without the abbreviation, parentheses of Mac OS right there. So you're going to want the Elgato, it's the ones by Elgato. Elgato noise removal, equalizer, compressor, de-esser. We'll go through all that. Like I said before, if you own a Wave device, this right here is automatically there, as you saw. It's free. Well, with the purchase of the device, so technically not 100% free. But if you want this and you really want it, it works very well though. Works much better than this one, but this works very well, enough for me. It might work for everyone else too, enough. So you don't have to get the voice focus. You could get the noise removal one, the lightweight one. Doesn't take as much CPU power. You could pay $50 for it if you want it. It's AI generated to make sure that it focuses on your voice and completely cancels out everything else. If you really want something hardcore for that, you can purchase that even for your third-party mics. So get those. Next, we're going to get an equalizer preset as well. So type in preset. I already have several of these and I made my own. I'm not going to get into details on how to edit them. I'm just going to show you what to do. Just to get started. If you have any dynamic mics, start with this one right here. Harris is really good. I like his. He's a great YouTuber as well about audio functions as too, so go check him out. He's pretty cool. These right here, if you have the Wave devices for the Wave 3, Wave DX, these are good starting points as well. Start with those. If you want to, you can just start with the podcast one. So go ahead and download all of them if you want, because you'll just choose whichever ones you want. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and add effects. I might start sounding different. If I'm not mistaken, the order of operation is what's going to start first. So I'm going to start with the equalizer first, because to me, that's the most important. Add equalizer. So this is just your baseline, and I already created one for myself. I went off of Harris as a starter, and then I edited it for my specific voice for this. So I have it all right here. So I might sound different already. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. It already saves. It's checked on, checked off, checked on, checked off. If you want to go back and edit it, hit edit right here next to the trash can. There you go. We're going to go ahead and add compressor. I'm going to show you how to quickly set that up. Not going to explain what that all about either. Proceed. This is going to already start talking as soon as you pick up your voice. Don't worry about it. What you want to do is you want to read this right after you hit redo. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So as vocal compression is the secret to sounding pro, let's do this. Vocal compression is the secret to sounding pro. Let's do this. Next. So I'm going to bring this all the way down. This, I'm not going to explain exactly what it does. There's a lot of videos and information online. I'm going to go just below my highest point. Finalize. I'm also going to go in here and decrease the attack to 1 and then release to 100. I'm not going to explain why. This is just based off my research for me. You keep this 4 to 1. Do your own research on this part. We're going to move on. And so that we can try to get to the actual mixing part, which is the fun part. Just want to get you initially set up. Close. Add. De-esser. So when you're ready to read this, you want to click that. So de-esser, smooth the sharp S sounds. All right. De-esser, smooth the sharp S sounds. With this, I like to go all the way into the orange, and then as soon as it turns green, done. Close, done. So I might sound better, worse, I don't know. I'm going to find out after the video's done. We're going to close. Next, those third-party mic people. So everything that we just did on here, this part is going to be the same, okay? So I'm going to just create. I'm going to add the microphone I used for my previous tutorial. Add it here. You can add it here if you want so that you can talk. Right now I have it muted, but I'm going to unmute it for a second. I hope it doesn't echo. Testing, testing. You see it jumping? All right, I'm going to mute it again. There we go. So I'm going to bring this down. Same thing. I'm going to keep it muted. Close that. Mute that. Same thing. You click here, and then you add effects this way. Very simple. You can turn a really cheap third-party mic into a really cool, effective mic that sounds amazing just through this. Close. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. That was just the quick part for it for y'all. All right. Let's go ahead and add a bunch of columns over here. So I do it this way by just adding, let's add OBS Studio just so that we can get this going. Have it muted. I'm going to unmute it. I'm going to edit it. So you can edit it right here, and then you can remove it right here. Very quick and easy. Super simple. Same thing up here. You click edit. You can delete mix if you want. All right, create. I'm going to do OBS, and I'm going to edit this so that we can change it to a specific chats and different audio routing. So we're going to change this. I'm going to change this to, let's see. Let's start out with system, because this is going to be our primary audio, right? Do system. I'm going to rename it to system. And I'm going to delete OBS. Okay, we're going to just do this so that we can fill this all out. Close. I'm going to do OBS again. I'm going to just keep doing OBS to edit it. And then I want to do, let's see, voice chat. I'm just going to name it VC so it's different to voice chat up there. Name it whatever you want. In fact, I'm going to add Discord into this one though, because very important thing, automatically do that. Close. And then I'm going to do create channel. Same thing. We're going to change this one. We'll say game audio. Delete. And then just game without the S. Create channel, OBS. Delete that. And then we will do SFX. Might as well do SFX on that one. SFX. For this to work properly for SFX, so you don't have to go in and change your Stream Deck audio files and where they need to route and everything through the Stream Deck itself. I'm going to show you that in a moment. We'll get back to it, okay? Just remember, close OBS again. And we're going to change this one to music. I know everyone's got their music, Spotify, YouTube music, Pandora, whatever it may be. Right there. I'm just changing to music. And close. I don't think that there's anything else that I want to add here. I think that's probably enough. Let me just double check. I just like adding most of these. I don't care about the browser one. Some people like it to be separate. I just have it under system. That all is completely fine for me. Some people just love the more control, which is great. And I like more control for a lot of things. I mean, you can go into that and add that if you want. So I'm going to actually remove this because I don't need it. Okay, so I do use a different browser for music. So we'll jump into that real quick. I use WaterFox. It's just a random browser. It's like a smaller Firefox type browser. I'm not going to play any music for copyright reasons, but I just have it over here. So then I can edit and add app and then add WaterFox. So I have that in there so that anytime I play anything from this specific browser, it will always play in music, which is great. Next, so that you know that all of this will come through your headphones, we're going to go ahead and hit plus for everything for headphones. We're going to go ahead and hit plus for everything except for the mic, for the speakers. Otherwise, it's going to start echoing like crazy if your mic's not muted, of course. I'll just do that real quick so that you can hear it for a split second. So sorry about your ears. So loud. Anyways, so I have all those checked. I'm going to mute them because I don't want things playing through my speakers right now. I just want the headphones. Also, something to note, again, I don't know if I already said this, but your Stream Deck plugins for the wavelength does not work right now, but it will. Okay, I think I said that at the beginning of the video. I just want to remind you, I can't wait for that to happen because it's going to be awesome. Because then you can control each and every single one of these. You can be like, oh, well, I want to play my video game through my speakers right now. And you can uncheck that and mute this one so it's not playing through your headphones. You could toggle between and so forth. So that's going to be so awesome once that's implemented. All right. So I am going to add my microphone to the voice chat because this is going to be for Discord so that people can hear me in Discord. Okay. SFX, I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to add SFX over here. So this is if you want to do like audio warfare and prox chat for Warzone or something like that, so that you can have a different mic input for the in-game audio. You can have this one specifically for Discord. You know what? I'm going to just change this to Discord. So Discord, let's see what happens. Anyways, or whatever. I'll change it to main voice chat. Sorry, I'm getting all over the place, but just kind of going with the flow. So bear with me. I'm sorry if this video is very long. I just want to cover everything. All right. So we're going to set this up in Discord, and we'll set this up in a video game as well. All right. So this way, you could still talk in Discord. You can mute yourself in game, and then you can just play like audio warfare continuously in a loop if you want to for soundboard, or you can be talking and then you can play something random in your soundboard. All right. We're going to go ahead and set up the Discord part first. We'll move on to that. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Let's set up this for your main system volume to be your default. It's very simple, very quick. Since we've already done all this, you go down here, click your volume thing, and then you want to find your default to be system. There you go. Very simple. Now, anything that plays on your computer whatsoever will automatically play through your headphones if you're playing anything on here, because that's your default. If you want it through your speakers, then do both. If you want just your headphones, mute your headphones and you got your speakers. All right. Now let's do Discord, I believe. Let's go ahead and jump to that. I'm going to go ahead and go into settings on my other screen, and I'm going to pull it over in just a second. So you want to go to settings, and then you want to go to voice and video. I'm going to pull this over here. Now that you see. So default. If you want the Discord people to hear the sound effects, you can do one of two things. One, you can set this to SFX, which might be mean, especially if you're doing audio warfare, but it can be annoying. But what you want to do is to have your voice chat right here. I don't think it renamed it for me. I think it'll rename it later. Remember, I had the exclamation point. I did change it to main voice chat. So, and then the output device, show more. This is going to be VC, the one on the left, because this is what you're going to wind up hearing. So what's cool, we're going to go there and we're going to add a effect. I only add one effect to it because it's obnoxious when people are chomping on chips or pounding on their keyboards. You know, when you get aggressive and you're playing, it's like ta 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 ta. Or if you're, controller player and you got a really loud buttons and it's right next to the mic, or they have a fan blowing in the background, you get my drift. It's really annoying, and sometimes you just end up muting them because it's like, well, you can't stop the audio, so mute. Well, this will help with that. Go ahead and add effect and add noise removal. You can set up the threshold. It's set normal at 85. Get into a Discord channel. Get into also a in-game chat that doesn't have noise suppression, because Discord does have it, like with Crisp, right? So go into both Discord and into a game chat with a buddy. Make sure they don't have any noise compressions on their microphone at the time, and go up and down. Maybe someone on console like Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, and just go this up and down. I just keep it at default, and it works very well for the most part for me. So I'm going to close that, and close this. So you see green, that means it has an effect. White, it doesn't have any effect on it. You don't really care about putting effects on the other stuff. You don't need it. But the voice chat one, oh, dude, this was dudes and women, everyone. Anyways, this was a game changer for me in Wavelength 2.0. So add this to it. It helps a lot. All right, so let's move on. I think we were going over the SFX stuff as well. So if you want to disturb everyone with that, you can do SFX. And instead, you can get, if you have a Stream Deck, you can have 2 buttons on there, one for like trolling and one for Discord, so that you can change it back and forth between these two with just a push of a button, which is nice, which still works. That's working. The Discord one still works in the Stream Deck. It's just the wavelength stuff that's not working. So you can change your input on Stream Deck. I think I will go ahead and do that real quick. Pop up that, go to my left Stream Deck and pull this over. Click that. I need to change this to the correct one. So this is voice chat for the normal, so that I'm trolling only in game. And this is if I want to troll my peeps in Discord. So I could press the button. Let's see if it works. Press the button, see it changed. Press the button and change back. And that's going back and forth between these two. So when I want to just troll only people in the game, it'll change this to normal chat so that my Discord peeps cannot hear it. It can be very annoying with them, for them, I guess. All right. So that's concludes the voice stuff in Discord. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the sound effects part. All right. You don't need any extra apps. You don't need any of that. Everything is built right in here. I know some people like want to get voice mod. You can get voice mod as well, which is pretty cool. You can change your voice and stuff. I don't care about any of that. A lot of people do, but if you do, you can add it as an app to it as well, which is pretty cool. So let me go back to the Stream Deck. As you can see, I'll click on the Mario World one. I have that as a soundboard just because, anyways. Right here, it's so frustrating and annoying to have to go in every time you have to update Stream Deck, anytime you update Stream Deck, it resets the output to default, and it's so annoying. To me, it does. I don't know if anybody else has that issue, but it does that every single time I update the Stream Deck software. So I'd have to go in and change it to SFX to every single one of my soundboards every single time. And it is so tedious and annoying, so I never wanted to update Stream Deck. But with this, you don't have to do that. So you can keep it on default, and all you have to do is one thing. Go into SFX, and then you add your Stream Deck app, if it even wants to show. Let's go ahead and I'm going to close this out and then reboot it and see if it pops up for us, okay? Okay, I found out the reason why it wasn't popping up. So I did reboot both of these anyways. You might as well just force close them, open them back up, play something, just play a random audio. I'm going to put this default for now, and I'm going to hit it. And then after running an audio file, so then your Windows registers it and this registers it, then you can add app, and then the Stream Deck will pop up. Same thing with your Brave browser or any browser that you want to add in. You need to open up maybe a YouTube link or something and like run a video or something so that audio is detected. You have to get detectable audio on there, otherwise it won't show. Go ahead and I'm going to add Stream Deck. Adding Stream Deck to this, it doesn't matter what this is set to. This will always play into the SFX. I'm going to show you. Let's actually remove Stream Deck. I'm going to play a Mario theme. I really hope this doesn't copyright me. Maybe if I can move this down. I'll just do the jumping. That was really loud. It went through my system, right? It also went through my speakers. I'm going to delete that, or not delete it, but I'm going to mute it. You see it's jumping up there, no pun intended, right? So now we're gonna go ahead and add this to the Stream Deck, and then I'm going to hit close. Mind you, this is still set to default. All right, I'm going to hit it again. Jump. Now you see it jumping only in SFX. I can hear it in my headphones but I'm going to mute that. So this way you can mute it in your headphones, you can mute it in Discord, you can mute it in everything, and then you can set it to where it's only in the SFX. So you can talk to them, you can mute yourself so they don't hear you. So like you're down in Warzone and you need to revive and like, hey, I'm safe, you can come and revive me. They won't hear that, but they will hear the audio warfare, whatever you're playing. As you can see, that's going up and down. So then you can't hear it. Your Discord friends can't hear it, but people in game can hear it. Sometimes it can be very annoying, and a lot of people, oh, you're cheating, and it's like, well, you know, it's part of the game. It's prox chat. As long as you don't have like curse words and profanity in whatever you're playing for the soundboard, if it's innocent stuff, then you'll be fine. You won't get chat ban or anything like that. You will get chat ban if you have some curse words and stuff in there or some type of profanity. I did too, where it just had like I think it had curse word like ASS in there. I won't say that, but anyways, just spell it out. But yeah, anyways, I had that in there, and then I had gotten chat ban. You get so chat banned so easily, which I think is the most asinine thing of Call of Duty to ever do. It's a rated M for mature game. I'm sure a lot of people may or may not agree with that. Some people may agree with their banning of chat banning, and some people may not. In my own opinion, I think it's stupid. If I want to mute someone, I can just mute them. If I don't like hearing them, I can just mute them. You know, that's all I have to do. But yeah, anyways, I digress. Let's move on to the software. Let's see. So that's how you do the SFX. You can add specific games if you want to this. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I'm going to pause the video for a second so I can open up Call of Duty so I can show you this. Alrighty, now I have the game booted up just for an example to kind of show you this. Now that it's booted up and you actually have audio playing through it, this should show up under any of these that you want. So I'm going to add it to game so you can control specifically the game itself. Later, I'm going to make a very condensed video on this program with Art Tunes by Art is War. Art is War is a phenomenal audio person who content creator who knows exactly what he's talking about. Also gadgetry. They're both awesome when it comes to Call of Duty audio. I would go check them out if you want more details about that. He has 4 videos in there. Art is War does have 4 videos on how to get Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, and Warzone up to par, so you can literally hear everything from footsteps to like people reloading, people who are just laying there. You know, that little sudden movement where you kind of move the guns. Like you can hear that. Like it is crazy. It almost feels like hacks. Feels like cheating, but it's not. It's audio. You just enhance your audio, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, I'll get into that another video. It's going to be a more condensed video of his 4 videos together, and I will definitely credit him for that as well when I do make those videos. I'm going to go ahead and close window here. Actually, you know what? So I can show you real quick. Let me remove this so that you can see. I had to put this in window mode so that you can see this, because when you're in full screen or full screen borderless, for some reason I can't get this up above the game again. So you have to bring it to another monitor so that you can see it if you don't have the Stream Deck, or right now it's not functioning with the plugins because of the beta at the moment. They haven't released the update or the new version of the Wavelink plugins for Stream Deck. So I have it in Windows mode just to show this. Just be aware of that. If you're going to be using this, you want to definitely keep it in another screen so that you can mute or unmute stuff until the Stream Deck comes out with that plugin. Anyways, let's move on here. Right now, let's try to see if I can move this over here some. Yeah, I'll just move it over where it's half on my screen and half over here, just so you can see this. So I don't like having music in the game, but I'm going to go ahead and click into the game. But you can see when I go up and down, you see the system goes up like that, because it's just on system default. So you can just change this to game. You don't even have to add it, I don't believe. Let me see. Yeah, so it would be game. See, I have game and games with an S, plural. If I'm not mistaken, the output devices I don't know. I'm a little confused on that part. I won't get into that. I'm doing a lot of testing with it. So game, and then now you should see that all highlighted in the game. You don't even have to add that, but some games don't let you control where the audio device is coming out of. So you don't have to add Call of Duty, but if you want to control that, more control, I don't know. I know that I've had issues with Assassin's Creed in the past where I couldn't get the game audio to play through a specific thing that I wanted it to. So with Wavelength 2.0, that fixed a lot of it too. But here, if you boot it up and as soon as you get audio, then these will pop up. So then, like, for instance, Call of Duty, you'll see Assassin's Creed or whatever other games that you can't control the audio device in as you can in Call of Duty or another game. So then you can add that here. So don't worry about adding Call of Duty or any game that you can control that in. Just control it in the game. Then it'll be more personalized that way. Reason why I also say that is because of art tunes. Like when you get art tunes, if you do art tunes, you're going to have to redo it after installing this, though, unfortunately. I mean, you can get it and it kind of works, but it does break a few things, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to have to redo it anyways. And when I redo it, I'm going to make a condensed video of it because I do play a lot of Call of Duty. Unfortunately, and fortunately, I guess. I don't know. A little addicted, I guess. I'm going to close this out because then I can add, just real quick, I'm not going to go in depth. This will be later. Add this, and then there you go. Then I'll have art tunes. But I'm going to test that out later, and then I'm going to probably uninstall and reinstall and do it again. So just so I can do this for y'all. Go ahead and remove channel. All right. So we got that down. So you see how in game, now you see the volume on the game part is going up and down right here as I move this. I have the music, so you hear me going through that. All right. Let's move to the sound effects part. This is the crazy part that a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? Wavelength 2.0, you could do that, but dude, this makes it so much easier in Wavelength 3.0. I'm sorry, I'm fairly ecstatic, even though this is only a beta. It's pretty cool. And it's free, which is even cooler. So go ahead and go to voice chat. We already did audio just real quick so you could see that, right? I think some people eventually will, when we do art tunes, it'll be like a 7.1 surround sound 1.2. Go to voice chat. We are going to go under voice chat for in-game, so what you're listening to. So this is going to be voice chat, just like Discord. You want this to be the same because you want this right here, that noise suppressor, right? So like I said earlier, you want someone to join in who has a terrible mic or whatever, or someone on console or whatever. I'm not trying to diss console. I love console too, Xbox, PlayStation, and so forth. You can turn that off temporarily, see how they are, and then turn it back on in-game, and you can totally see a difference. It is amazing since Discord, remember, has crisp, so it already has a built-in noise canceling function. But this goes even further to make it even much better. Anyways, then you don't hear people's fans in the background in the game. And even half their music too, because I know some people just listen to TikTok or YouTube or whatever else in the background on their phone while they're in the middle of a game and if they're dead and so forth. So select that. Now, I always set my microphone to the SFX. Okay, so right now, nobody can hear me if I'm talking. If someone was in the lobby. I can't test my mic. I guess I could test my microphone, but I'm not going to because it's just going to add more time. This video is already extremely long as it is. A lot of people can only go through 5 or 10 minutes of a video, and this is probably going to be anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. So bear with me. I just want to try to touch base on everything that I learned, and hopefully you'll learn from this and learn more beyond this. Anyways, so SFX, if this is muted, again, remember, if you mute the whole, I'm going to unmute this. If you mute the whole thing, it mutes everything. If you mute it from this side, same thing, game, mutes everything. If you want just one thing muted, like you don't want to hear yourself, fine, mute that one. I like to hear myself, like I said before. If you don't want Discord to hear you and you don't want them to know that you're muted, you can mute that. If you don't want people to hear you in game, mute this one, unmute it. And then that's where the sound effects come in. So now, SFX microphone, I'm going to play that sound effect. Let's see. And you saw that bounce up. I just played a sound effect. I don't know if you can hear it right now. I'm pretty sure I have it turned off. It might not be. Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to hear it. I could change it to make it to where you can hear it. If I change it to, I don't think I have it set up in OBS, but no, I don't have it set up because I have it just the main mic, just this part in the OBS. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. But that's the cool thing. I mean, you can put it on a loop where it's just like on all the time. Like I know some people like to do that creepy girl thing. Click that and then put it on a loop. I think it's like a whole minute. Let me see. Yeah, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds. And as soon as it's done, it repeats again. And you're just playing it the whole time in game. I know it can be very annoying to people, and some people might be hearing me say this like, no, why did you tell the world how to do this? Anyways, it's just going to be funny. And you can always turn off prox chat in game too if you want. That's totally up to you. I like to keep it on for that. And you can always turn down the volume as well. So if you want all of your voice chat and Discord and everything else to turn down, you can just turn it down right here. Or that's for the whole thing. If you want your headphones all the way turned down, you can do just your headphones. If you want just your, I'm going to mute it, speakers. If you want to hear it, you go to the kitchen and you have a wired microphone, you can just turn this up and down and unmute it. So you can hear me like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to get some water. You know, I got to take a number 2, whatever. Tell me when the game starts, you know, and uncheck this, and you can put the volume to whatever you want if you have a wired headset so you can hear them in the other room. You can do it that way as well, which is pretty cool. Let's see, what else could I do? I'm going to pause the video for a second so I can think. While I had you paused, I know that was very quick. I forgot I also have wireless earbuds like the Galaxy Live ones, that little beans that you put in your ear. You can add that to it too through Bluetooth. So if you wanted to, you can also create, and you can, where is it at? I think you would have to actually add it up here. Yeah, this is where you would have to add it. So if you were using up too many of these and you wanted to add like wireless earbuds and stuff, and like I guess you don't really need the game ones, so I'm gonna do wireless. Wireless earbuds. Add here, and you add the headphones Live, Galaxy Live 2. And close. And then I wonder, I'm going to actually put in my ear so I can see if I can hear myself talk. Oh, yes. So I'm going to close that out. You can go ahead and add all these too, which is so cool. Yeah, so like if you're in Discord and you want to just put your earbuds in, and you know, you have your wired headset like a Bear Dynamic or something on there, you can keep all of that running all at the same time, and then you can still hear your voice chat. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to the kitchen real quick, make some food, you know, and I can still talk to y'all. So you could also do it that way. It's pretty cool. Anyways, if you want the microphone from the earbuds, I believe you have to go into this one, then you add the microphone, right? And there you go. Now I'm talking here. I'm going to mute here just for a second, just so you can see that going up and down by itself. And then you can add that to main voice chat for Discord and or game. You can add it to both, right? I'm going to rename this to Galaxy Buds. Close. You can also add that noise suppression stuff to it, which is absolutely amazing. That's all I'm going to add to it for now. And close. You can do the equalizer and stuff later. And you can have multiple microphones going at once. You can have one muted. You can mute this so that nobody can hear you, and you can't, you know. And then on this side, you hear whatever else you want to hear from the speakers. It's whatever your imagination can. I just learned this with y'all. Like, this is so cool. Like, the things that you can do with this. I don't know if you can drag and drop and move it up and down. That would be something they should implement it so you can rearrange the order. That would be dope, in my opinion. Yeah, I know that probably sounds like you know how old I am now. Younger generation, a boomer. No, I'm not a boomer, but anywho. Let's see, what else? I'm definitely going to test this out further, but I'm pretty sure what I said about the earbuds here, being able to go into voice chat and being able to hear them both through whatever your headphones, your speakers, your earbuds, all at the same time, that's going to be the case. I'm going to say 99% sure. I'll have to test it out later. Maybe I'll put it in a comment section or in the description of this video that it did work. And all while this, like you can keep, I just keep this to system. For some reason it changed to that. System. There you go. Just keep it system so you get system audio and all that, like any like Windows errors and dings that'll come through here. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to go ahead and just wrap up the video. Thank you for sticking around for whatever amount of time that you stuck around, or even for the whole video. I really hope that this helped you, that you learned something. I know I even learned a lot while making this video at the same time. I didn't want to, just want to make this video uncut. I don't want to cut things up. I did pause it a few times just to get my thoughts together, but this is all unfiltered. Just making it, just trying to be as personal as possible with it. Stay tuned. I will be making, again, Art Tunes video. I might make another video later as I learn more stuff with this. This thing's just absolutely cool. Thank you, Elgato, for coming out with this. This is by far even better than the Wavelength 2.0, and I know this is still in beta. There's still a lot of caveats and issues that I've noticed a few times for different things, but some of those I've already solved myself, and some of them we're just waiting for so that they can come out with updates, such as the Stream Deck plugins, all of that. Actually going to put my earbud away real quick. Also, something else you just learned, and I just learned, when you have it away and it's just not working, it's unavailable. That's cool. And I guess when you pull it back in, and it'll just start working immediately again. So that, all this is cool. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Y'all have a wonderful day, wonderful week, weekend, whatever it is. Right now it's October 21st, 2025. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your year. Stay tuned for new videos coming up. Y'all have a wonderful time. God bless y'all.